What's going on, everyone? Is the audio working? I wonder, is everything working? Well, Zendo, he says there's 5 people here, but I don't know if that's true or not. 10 now. Oh my goodness. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Can somebody tell me if the microphone works or not? Is the sound good? Is it bad? What's going on with the sound? I never know. I never know. I've almost finished the warm-ups this time around because I had to wait for the phone to charge up. So, nice, beautiful. Oh, nice, Duncan. Nothing better than finishing that session and walking back feeling accomplished. That's what makes us come back, I reckon. In London, nice. What time is it over there in London now? Hey Nick, what's up, man? All right, last warm-up set. And then we get busy. We get busy. All right. Warm-up done. Oh, nice, Duncan. High reps, 11:04. There we go. Um, we reppin'. High ripping for the win. Now, 3 sets of 23, hopefully. One set of 20 with 60 kg weight. It's hardcore. Yeah, it will take you some time to get used to the high reps, man, but it's really, really worth it. Stick with it. It gets better. You'll make the adaptation, and then everything will start to kind of feel better and better. But you need to kind of learn how to, number one, breathe and brace while you're repping it out. And the second thing, obviously, the muscle needs to become more resilient. And all that takes time. So I recommend for the first couple of weeks, don't try push. Just, get the volume in. I started with 60 kilos, my max being 152, right? So far away from, my working weight now. But I just wanted to make sure that the shoulders can take it, that everything can take it, being wide grip for me, which is a new thing for me. So it kind of worked out, right? I was scared of going wide and too heavy too soon. So I thought, you know what, let's go wide, super freaking light, and just teach the shoulders that they're going to be okay. See, that's the thing, Zendo. If you're not making it to 20 on those sets, too heavy. It's too heavy. You're training for failure, and I don't want you to train for failure. You're doing it too heavy. Drop the weight. Drop the weight where you can get 3 sets of 20, no problem, and then work towards 4 sets of 20, 5 sets of 20. But if you fail a set of 20 in any of those sets, then it's too heavy. You're not going to last. That's the thing. You got to get 20. You basically, it's like this, man. Most of these sets, maybe except the last set, should be with 2, 3, 4 reps in reserve. That's kind of the idea. And so by the time you get to your last set, maybe it's the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th, and you feel like you've got 0 reps in reserve on that last set, call it there. Don't do another set because you'll fail. Then you'll get 18, 17, all that stuff. So thank you, Zendo. Appreciate it. Mortal, I'm from Adelaide. Training to failure works really well, but if you do it all the time, it's going to catch up to you. You're going to start to regress. It's just too much to deal with. That's kind of the idea. Anyway, let's do a set of 23 here. Oh man, that's too high, too low. I don't know where to put this thing anymore. What would you reckon is needed for a 140 kilo bench in terms of reps with 100? Oh man. So before this block of training, just before it, so I'm talking like the last time I pushed bench really hard was November of last year. I tried to do a few sets here and there while I was doing the wide bench for the first time. 17 was my best with 100. And back then, my 1 rep max was 152 with 17 reps with 100. So 12, maybe 12 reps, I'm thinking. Something like that. In that ballpark figure. 10, 12, something like that. And then you get yourself a 140. Maybe I'm wrong with that, I don't know. Frank. Yeah, this is the thing, dude. It depends how you squat. If you're squatting low bar, you almost welcome bending over because you are positioned in such a manner that you can kind of sit back into those hips. But if you put that bar high and you start to bend over, then you're really mechanically disadvantaged. because now there's a long lever, and that thoracic spine is paying huge taxes with that position. And so you kind of get rolled forward, and the weight travels onto your toes, and you're in a world of hurt at that point. So it depends on how you intend to squat. If you intend to squat low bar, sure, like Mark Rippetoe says, roll that bar back and squat low bar. But to get the low bar path while you're high barring, it's not going to turn out well for you. Doug says, whoa, really? I can already hit 20, but I feel like heavy as shit. Okay, well, in that case, if you can hit 20, I reckon you've got more than enough to hit 140. So it's just a matter of peaking a little bit, learning how to do it, and I reckon you'll get there. Anthony, what's going on, man? Working today, so can't hang out with you, but we'll watch it back later. Appreciate that, Anthony. Like always, man, you have a good day, and thank you for stopping by. And I'm sure I'll catch you in the next one when you're not working. Serbian, yes. By the way, David Beckham is going to be knighted. Sure, it won't be long until the king hooks you up for the service to squatting. That's pretty cool about David Beckham. I didn't know that. Yeah, knighted for squatting every day. Thank you, Muslim. Appreciated that. Yeah, Caleb, it's there's a skill to it for sure. Rep work, the way I think about it is like this, man. Rep work gives you the base, and so the base allows you to do wonderful things, but you still gotta build the peak. But that doesn't mean you build the peak 90% of the year. I still think the vast majority of the work is the base, and then the peak, you know, you gotta spend some time with it and go from there. But you know, if you can already get 20 reps, I think you are fit enough to get 140 for sure. But also, I want to ask you, how are you doing those 20 reps? Are they, you know, decently the same as you're doing your 1 rep max, or are they different in whatever way? Dave Tate. I've watched a lot of Dave Tate over the years. I know he likes floor pressing. Close grip. Well, this is the thing. Like, it depends what you need, man. That's basically what it comes down to. If you're failing at the chest, I don't think triceps is what you need. My personal experience. My pecs get stretched out and I can't pop off the chest. So it's the chest that I need to work on, not, you know, close grip. If you are really, really developed in the chest and you got, you know, power there, then maybe you need triceps to hit those weights. But it depends where you're getting stuck. And this is where I feel like you need to learn how to diagnose lifts and work out what you need, because that's pretty much the whole game we're in, trying to work out, you know. So that's kind of how it is. All right, set number 2 coming up. Oh man. I feel like that one was tough. That one was tough. Yeah, Frank, that's my trouble. The bar is over my toes. Not good. Nice. 6 a.m. Ohio, US time. Bloody beautiful, mate. Hit that OHP. Well, I'd love to try everything, man. Sandbags, box squats, all that stuff. But it's hard to fit it all in. You know? I imagine those sandbags will be very, very taxing and it will take away from everything. Which, if you want to make that your main lift, absolutely. Sounds good to me. But, like always, everything's dependent upon the goals that you've got going on. So you just have to prioritize, I suppose. I'm doing one set of low weights, high reps, and then doing a heavy set of 5. I feel like that should be the other way around, Zendo. Always you have to save yourself for the top sets and then back away with the other sets. So if you're going to work up to a heavy set of 5, you better do that with the most energy you got. Oh, okay, Doug, then you're good. Should be good then. Zendo, I tried to combine those two ideas many, many times before. Working up to a set of whatever and then dropping down for my volume work. And I always felt like you're not hitting one or the other with what you need. Yeah, the body's kind of gets confused. It's really weird, especially if you're doing it multiple times a week. The body's always trying to get accustomed to what you're sending it. And if you're sending them to extremes, you're going to fall somewhere in between, which is fine. But I reckon if you're going to focus on high reps, just focus on high reps. Don't fry your nervous system before you do it. Because remember, it's the same nervous system for whatever you do. People often think, oh, you know, I've done deadlift, so I can just, straight after deadlifts, I can do bench press and the completely unrelated muscles will be fine. No. It's the same brain, it's the same nerves, it's the same, regardless of what you're doing, it's all the same stuff. So that's the trouble I'm finding. Like, you know, I smash myself with these bench presses, then I walk over to squats and deadlifts and I'm toast before I even touch that. So it's all kind of related. So just be mindful of where you're putting your first effort in. If it's high reps, do it. If it's low reps, you're probably going to do really well there and then not thereafter. Or if you're carrying fatigue from high reps into this session, you're probably not going to do very good with the heavy weight either. It comes at, I used to watch Strongman back in the day as a kid, Saturday mornings, or was it Sunday morning, something like that. Like I remember Marcus Pudzianowski back in the day. Like all those guys I kind of watched, but I don't really follow it. But I watch some of the social media stuff around them, for sure. If you got to do some ankle work, man, you know, knees over toes guy has really, really good things on that. Tib raises, jogging, single leg work, you know, lunges, split squats, all that is really good for the ankle. Anything that's kind of challenging that balance portion is going to train the ankles really well if you so really need that. Do you ever plan to try Olympic lifting for a cycle, 10 to 12 weeks? I want to, but I'm probably not going to. Olympic weightlifting is such a steep learning curve that most of the time you're just stuck in the technique world. And you never really get to a point where you're actually pushing the weights. It's always a technical breakdown somewhere. That is less appealing to me, even though I love to see the pros do it. It's just, yeah. It's very nervously demanding and it's a very long journey. And I feel like if you're getting into it later on in life, it's always very tough. My favorite assistance exercise for bench? Not really anything, man. I like to warm up, so like shoulder work, lateral raises, front raises, anything like that to get the shoulders warmed up is probably the best accessory. That's the only thing I'm doing right now to get the shoulders nice and warmed up so I can bench. That's basically it, man. Nothing more on top of that. I don't do anything as an accessory, you know. I just warm up the bench. That's kind of all I do. Yeah, arm wrestling. There's so many things that come and go, you know. I just try to stay away from all those fads. Whatever becomes popular, I'm going to do that. I don't like that. I stick with what I like, and I don't worry about anyone else or the popularity. I just focus on what I like to do, and I just focus on that. Yeah, arm wrestling is cool, and I've done a whole stack of exercises around it, but to actually do the sport, that's not my thing. But yeah, that's not to say that it's wrong. I've definitely learned a lot from that circle of trainees. Alrighty. Now, I start to get nervous around set 3, which tells me it's plenty of work. I'm probably not going to deload per se. I'm just going to chase the rep numbers. And when I get to the set of 30 with 100, that's when I will, take a few days easy and then try on 160. That's kind of the idea. It's worked so far. So, keep at it, I suppose. Ugh, goodness. Oh, man. Oh man, there was 0 reps in reserve after that one. Oh, these sets of 23 is really taxing the shit out of me now. David, what's up, man? Jairo Hernandez. Miz, what's going on, man? I don't really use RPE per se. I just use reps in reserve. I like to think about that better. Same thing, really. Soulboy60, how you going, dude? Long time no see. Michael, praise and blessing to you too, my friend. Burpee Legacy, Jesse, brother, kako je? Indiana, that's what's up. Dude, I just watched it. I just watched the replay. I didn't even know the result. Epic. Halliburton with the game-winning shot. Yeah, that's right. It's just rebranded, isn't it? RPE. It's all the same. That last set was 0 reps in reserve. That's faux show. Dude, that was tough. Now some deads, man. I'm actually quite excited about this. Get some deadlifts off you, mate. Some deads. Where are we gonna put this thing? Screw it, I'll put it where I had last time. Hopefully it doesn't drop out. Let me know if the thing drops out a bit. So we're gonna be doing dead stop deads. Yeah, man. Halley jerseys. Some days I'll be hitting 10 to 12, the next 15 to 20. Then like 6 to 8 seems to keep progressing me. Better for me. Yeah, concurrent. Or undulating periodization. That's kind of the name of that type of training, where you have, let's say, 3 different days. One's 20s, one's 10s, one's 6s. That's kind of hitting everything at once. I like that. I like it, but I always feel like there's residual fatigue bleeding over from workout to workout. Even though you're trying to kind of hit different qualities with those rep ranges, it does interfere a little bit. Oh, absolutely. There you go, Duncan. You're talking my language now. You definitely can't rely on your feelings to gauge what to do in training. It's bloody up and down, isn't it? Shift work, all that stuff. It all impacts you. Oh, now I'm getting hot. Do a set of 0 reps in reserve, and they'll do it to you. All right, dead stop deads, sets of 10. Let's see how this shit feels, mate. Let's see. All right, dead stop, that's the emphasis. So much tougher. Oh. Tougher but worth it. There you go. They don't transfer at all. Need some water. Has me breathing hard. Oh. It's so uncomfortable to deadlift to a full stop because I struggle off the floor. So I continuously go back to the thing I struggle, and that's good. And as long as you hear that barbell clacketing on the reset, it's telling you that it's unloaded and loaded the way back on. So it's kind of what you're after. Do I eat my body weight in grams? Dude, I don't count those calories at all. I never liked the idea. I just try to eat good. Of course, I eat shit sometimes, for sure. But I try to eat good. And I adjusted on my hunger. And I'm a healthy young man. And so I rely on my hunger cravings to tell me what's going on. I mean, we've evolved for thousands of years. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty good system. I don't need to start weighing shit. So if I have a tough workout, I eat more. If I don't, my hunger usually goes away anyway. I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. Chime, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Ms., thank you so much for the gift, Ms. You're a legend for always supporting me. No matter what, you always support me. Thank you for that, man. Why are high bar squats more superior? I hate low bar. In my opinion, I've tried low bar not too far ago. It feels as though high bar trains the adductors very, very well. And everything gets stretched to a higher degree. And I feel like that, you train strength, but also mobility at the same time. And I think that is a key function to all of it, and probably why my deadlift has increased so much, because I really think the high bar does something magical to the deadlift. One thing that I realized when I fully went on low bar at the end of last year, I just did low bar squats. I didn't do high bar for a month or two or something like that. And what I found was I lost mobility through the adductors, and when I went back to my high bar, I injured my groin. And the groin injury has been with me for a little while, unfortunately, until I could shake it off. But very, very easy to lose mobility, very difficult to get it back. And I think one of the biggest components to all of that is your adductors. I think the adductors, people think when you go wide, you train adductors. Cool, I don't disagree. But when you go narrow and deep, that also trains the adductors, but through a longer range. So people forget that it's not just the stance width that stretches the adductors, but it's also the depth. And the bottom portion of the high bar ATG squat, the biggest hip extensor in that portion of the squat is in fact your adductors. So I lost that function, and with it I lost a lot of strength and pelvic stability, and basically I haven't felt strong since injuring my groin, especially in the squat and deadlift, which is kind of led into the bench. Focus and whatnot. Trying to train something that doesn't hurt is always a priority. But since going back to high bar, I've regained some of that. So for me, it's a big component to it all. Once again, it depends on the goals, it depends on what you're doing. But I feel like the high bar is a better variation, especially if you're somebody that does deadlifts. If you do deadlifts, then you do your hip hinge. So the low bar gets stuck in between those two, and it gets to a point where it's like, what's the point? I'm not saying low bar is bad, I'm just trying to split hairs here. I do like high bar after trying it, but I made a mistake of completely stopping high bar and losing my range. All right, second set, 120. Bloody bots, huh? Are you a warm-up on the bar lifter? Or do I warm up? Yeah, I do beforehand. I used to be, for many years, just barbell. Especially when I just did squats mainly. But now, before I start every session, I do bench. And so, in order for my shoulders to feel good, I do these guys. 5 kilos. And I do lateral raises, all sorts. Recently it's been basically just lateral raises, but I've done all sorts. I've done all sorts to try and warm up the shoulder girdle. And then I go to the bench. Do the bench. And then, now it's kind of turned into a deadlift. High reps, or 10 reps. After I finish that, then I do squats. So that's kind of the flow. But before the first exercise, whatever it is, you gotta warm up. Warm up well. But because the bench press is such a full body workout, I'm comfortable to go from bench press, hard sets there, straight to deadlift because my back is already warmed up. From that extension, I definitely feel warmed up. And then, so it's just before the first exercise. Gotta warm up. Yeah, so the golfer's elbow sensation was completely fixed. The wildest thing that I learned about that is, man, it's crazy. So when I used to do narrow grip bench press, dude, I used to do, fuck man, like 3 or 4 sets. For every working set on the bench press, I will do prehab, rehab. You know, fucking, where's the thing? This thing. I've showed you guys this many times before. Like all this sort of crap, you know. Lots of stuff like this. Lots of stuff like this. Not in this position, I'm just showing you. You rest the elbow on the knee and then you just kick out. Fucking hundreds of these fucking sets, man, per week. All of that to keep the elbows happy when I'm doing narrow grip. Right? Fucking, it was exhausting. But it got me out of the pain. And that was a solution. Anyway, so then I kind of drifted my way towards a different variation of bench, going wide. And then I continued doing the hammer, whatever. And then I realized, hold on a minute. My forearms are getting absolutely lit up from doing this wide bench press shit. Absolutely lit up. Then I thought, let me give it a few days of not doing the hammer at all to see what happens. What will happen? Well, what happened was, I felt bloody awesome. Felt bloody awesome from doing wide. And so now I don't do any prehab rehab, which is a huge freeing of time. So wide grip bench press is a self-rehabbing exercise. So unbelievable. And so what I focus on the bench press is just the shoulders. So the warm-up is all shoulders. I don't worry about elbows anymore. Basically, I can sink as much freaking volume possible into the bench press without any elbow troubles at all, as long as I have wide grip. It would probably go back to being shit if I went back to narrow. And I've kind of theorized why that is, probably because when you do narrow, there's more of an elbow bend. I don't know, man. I don't really exactly know why, but when I go wide, it fucking feels beautiful. And I'm so happy to say that, because I was in a dark spot with the elbow, man. It got to a point where I couldn't even squat without pain. It was really killing me. In the mornings, I couldn't open the drawer in the kitchen. Yeah, it was bad. And all of that was started because I tried banded freaking bench press. The banded freaking bench press. Fuck, that screwed me up. Vaz. Honestly, man, it came out of nowhere. One day I was like, I want to arch my back a little bit more to see how that feels. And so for me, that thought of, let me arch my back, kicked my legs in. So in order for my arch to happen, I was like, let me slide my feet further backwards towards me, underneath me. And the moment I did that, I was like, oh shit, I can feel my legs pushing. Just naturally because of the position. And then it just clicked. You know? Weird. Bloody awesome. Bit of Aussie for you, huh? Oh, shit. Yeah, elbows. I used to hear this stuff all the time about elbows in powerlifting. I didn't really bloody believe it until it really struck me hard. Struck me freaking hard. That's 3. I reckon I'll do 5 again. Oh, and then skip tomorrow as well. Seems like skipping a day in between is better. God, that's so uncomfortable. Is the overall goal to reach certain numbers, or just move about lifestyle and progress more? I'd say it's both. You know, I'm not a single guy that just looks after himself. That portion of my life is long behind me. So I can't go all in. You know, my life is by far father, partner, family man, and everything else falls behind, you know. So it's not all about numbers. My life needs to kind of, you know, fit into it. So, you know, 300, 300, 180 is the goal, dream numbers. But I'm not going to do steroids. I'm not going to become 200 kilo body weight fat. Right? So there's restrictions. There's things that, there's red lines that I'm not willing to cross. So, you know, it's not all out for 300 kilos. First of all, who gives a shit? Everything like this is personal. What, you know, what means to you more. For me, I want to be somewhat in shape and not be a fat lard, you know, squatting 300. That doesn't excite me at all. At all. You go live daily, man. I see you. What's going on? Baz, yeah, man, thanks. I'll give that a go as well. Good, man. Let me know how it goes. Dave says, I fucked up my elbow trying to show off pull-ups cold. Took 4 to 6 months to get right. Fuck. Costly mistake, isn't it, man? It's amazing how quickly you can fucking lose everything and then it takes you months to get back to square one. Yeah, man. Costly mistakes, huh? But you live and learn, dude. That's all you can really say. And then you know what's going to happen? One day you're going to be the old wise head. And you'll tell some youngster, hey, listen, man, don't do this X, Y, and Z. And he'll be probably like you and I were, oh, fuck off, old man. Let me strap some freaking bands on that bench press and get some gains. And then fucking bang. Elbow starts to hurt. Some people listen, some people don't. It's just, it is what it is, man. I learned as I went along. And I had fun with it as well. Like, it's not all bad. Boris the Blade, hey, man. Yeah, that's a good setup, Boris. Key Black, what's going on? Rams. Rams, Ramas, that's a really good question. What do I do when I get to 300 deadlift and my bench is way, way off? What do I do? Well, whether we like it or not, we're always going to have something that comes easier than other things. So my plan is you also have to train your strengths. You can't just give up on strength. So, you know, I've got 15 more kilos to get to 300. When I get there, I'll probably still try to push. Because if, let's be honest, man, if my, let's say, you know, I get to 300 kilo deadlift and my squat is 220, let's say. Who's to say that if I got to 320 kilo deadlift, then my squat doesn't go up as well? Of course it will. So just take what comes. if the deadlift is coming, fucking take that. You know, take that. Be happy with it. You know, that's the way it is. Oh, this is tough, mate. Tough. All right, let's do another set of these deads. This will be number 4. And I'll do another one after that. Whew, pump back. Oh, that's taxing. Oh. Yeah. That's it, DK. Mike K, what's up, man? Welcome. Mailman James, spot on. Mike, it's 5 sets of 10 with 120. And easy. How you going, Miz? Best investment? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you, Miz. The gym at home, best thing ever. Absolutely. Oh, jeez. One more tough set. And then we'll do some squats. And then we're done. Not a bad outing, I say. Yeah. So my garage door, I'll show it to you. He's opened up ever so slightly. You can see that, just to let some air in. And it's freaking cold in here. So I've got a vest, a jumper, and a t-shirt underneath. What is it? Is it autumn? Winter? I don't know if it's winter yet. It's probably not winter yet. Over here, it's cold, man. It's cold. That's why I'm also wearing these shoes, the Jordans, so you can see them. The Jordans are there. Is it because I love squatting with Jordans and deadlifting? Absolutely not. They're warmer than the Vivo Bare Feet shoes. Yeah, he's cold. Lucas, I don't think so. If I took 5 days off, I'd feel strong, but nothing crazy would happen, I don't think. Nothing crazy. Tread bar deadlift 400. Oh, wow. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess, for somebody to tread bar deadlift, you need to be really quad dominant. And I'm not a squatty squatter. I'm more of a leaning squatter. So probably the tread bar wouldn't be impressive for me. Somebody that's really shit at deadlifts would probably be good at tread bar. But I'm the opposite. I'm better at deadlifts and worse upright. Man, I got a mean low back pump. And I love it. Always love low back pumps. Whew. Thank you, mailman. I just watched the game 1, Captain Blacktooth. Just finished watching game 1 and I've got in here to train. Form is always, that's another one thing, man. I'm so concerned about injuries that no PI is worth it, man. Not when you live the life that I live, which is a normal life. I have to go to work and do many different things that are much more important than this. Even though I love this and I would love to be a professional, but I'm not. That's my lot in life. It is what it is. No point crying about milk. You deal with the cards you're dealt with. And me snapping my spine over a 2 kilo PR on a deadlift doesn't do anybody good around me. So every time I go in for a lift, I'm always mindful of that, And I encourage everyone else to also be that way, I think it comes with maturity and prioritizing. When you become a father, it all changes anyway for you. You learn instantly what's important in life, what isn't. And trust me, I really care about this. Weight's a big part of my life, but what's inside that house outweighs this shit a million times over. So that's just the way it is. Nivek, you're going to do some peptides, are you? Interesting. Pozdrav, kako je? O, ideš raditi čušćeve, svaka čast. Srećno ti, brate. Sve najbolje, polako, nemoj se povrijediti, samo polako. Uradi više ponavljanja i bit će sve super. Yo, Mike, what's happening, man? When am I hopping on gear? Never, dude, never. There's no value in that. What for? So I can impress more gym bros in the gym? Dude, none of that worries me, man. What I would say to you is, I probably could guarantee that whoever said that is not a parent. Trust me, one day you will become a parent and you will know that me not doing gear is the right decision, and probably you not doing gear is the right decision, because longevity, you growing up with your children, seeing that is by far the most fulfilling thing you'll ever experience. But it's very hard to convince people of that. That's why most people end up regretting their little stupid ego fueling endeavors when they're young, while jeopardizing their future, because the future is so much better than any gym PR. But who am I to say that? I'll wait for you to experience that. I just hope you don't do too much damage to yourself. Hey brother, I'm just stopping by to say you do great work as a father of two, another one on the way. I love your chats about balancing life and lifting in life. Keep going, man, and you do bloody good work. Job. Thank you so much, Pragmatic Duck. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. Yo, what made you up the weights on deadlifts? Oh, Mike, purely because I wanted to have less cardiovascular strain. I kind of worked that out a few sessions ago. I was breathing way too heavy, and deadlifts and squats use bigger muscles, causing more oxygen demand. And so me doing 20s and 30s was doing less for muscles and more for my cardiovascular, and I found that the cardiovascular was a limiting effect. And so I thought, actually there was a whole chat that we were kind of talking about it during a live. I just realized that I need to lower the reps on these big movements in order to have the muscle as the rate limiting step rather than the cardiovascular. So it's different to the bench press. The bench press, less muscle size, less oxygen demand. So sets of 20 and 30 are just fine. With squats and deadlifts, it's a bit different. Bigger muscles, hungrier for more oxygen. All right, let's do the last set. Then get squatting. God, the lower back is pumped. Oh, goodness. Very, very, very pumped. This feels like these dead stop deadlifts, man. I'm telling you, they feel so like leg press. It's such a freaking leg press. What a freaking discovery, man. What a discovery. Oh, Lord. Such a freaking discovery. This is a leg press, boys. Whether you see it or not, I'm feeling it that way, because I used to get a lower back pump in the leg press. I used to get the same type of sensation in the leg press. But you have to dead stop it. You have to. If you don't, then you're just training RDLs. Fuck. That is brutal. Some rain. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Vincent, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, lemon lime squeeze. spot on. It's a leg press. Really is. Seppo, what's happening, man? Lucius. Appreciate you, Vince. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, I am Serbian. Clear God. What's up, man? Faratika. I don't measure my body parts, man. I don't really get excited by that. You know? Whew, fuck, lower back is pumped. Jeez. Lower back is fried. There used to be a time, I remember writing about it in my journal. And I said, any exercise that gives me a lower back pump will translate to my squat and deadlift. If I train any length of period of time where I don't get this lower back pump, neither will move. I remember thinking about that clearly. Nothing makes me feel more stronger than this shit. Leg press used to pin press used to absolutely annihilate my lower back. Crazy. Transfer to deadlift and squat. Leg press, same thing, lower to lower back. Feels exactly like this. Great carryover. Oh man. Oh. Oh man. Oh. Lordy Lord. Oh. 3 plates. All right. I think there's way more left in the tank. But with the lower back pump, gonna do the smart thing here. The worst thing about right now is this is a PM workout, so nighttime workout, and I got to work out tomorrow morning because of work later on in the day. So I'm not even going to have 12 hours between sessions. I have to come back tomorrow and freaking deadlift again, 3 sets of 23. So let's see how it goes. So hopefully I get a good sleep. Usually after a lower back pump like this, I'll sleep like a bloody baby. So let's see how it goes. Spent, boys, spent. What did I miss? Noah, what's going on, man? Pen press is goated, I agree. Boris, I know the feeling all too well. Yeah, man, training in the summer. I mean, right now, here, let me close this garage. My feet are getting frozen. Winter's also shit as well. Like, I've got a sweat on now and I gotta quickly get in the house to shower, otherwise I'll get frozen. Bismarck 93, what's going on, man? Tony S, how long do you think I can train like this? Well, hopefully indefinitely. I've had a pretty good stretch, pretty lucky with life, with health. Everything's been going really well, so I've been blessed, man. Absolutely blessed. Blessed, man. Yeah, Bismarck. Using the bells of steel one. Very comfortable. It's awesome. Mike, you gotta do the best you can. Not every day is gonna be a perfect scenario. You just have to make most of it. So the way to tell which way is the correct way is to rack it, and whichever way the bar is tilting towards is the way you need to walk into it. So walk into where it's resting. So if it's resting away from you, you're walking into it. You know, so that's how you think about it. But you can do it either way, but that's the way you're supposed to. Juliana, what's up? How you going? Boys, it is 9 o'clock, and ladies, by the sounds of it, It is 9 o'clock here. I want to get away from here and go inside the house and warm up. So once again, for everyone that's chilled with me, appreciate it. Tomorrow is going to be an early session. So I'll probably be doing this in 12 hours, something like that. I'll probably be training. So something like that, you know, shift work and whatnot. It is what it is. Make the most of it. So I'll do another live tomorrow as well. So if I see you then, great. If I don't, thank you so much for chilling with me here again. It's always a pleasure, guys. Always love having you around and doing this. It's way better than the comments. It's always a pleasure. So thank you. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.